Have you previously played King's Quest V? Warning, this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
My castle! What has happened?
Ooh, I can tell you what happened.
What?
Ooh, I know what happened to your castle. I saw it all. Yes, I did.
You did? Well then, what happened?
Ooh, it was the powerful and evil wizard Mordak who did it. Ooh, I just happened to be visiting with an old friend when I saw him materialize out of thin air. Thank goodness he didn't notice me.
Well, don't stop now, go on.
He conjured up a terrible whirlwind that swirled faster and faster around the castle. With another incantation, Mordak then caused the wind to draw the castle up into the sky and out of sight. Ooh, it was something to see, all right.
Why would this wizard, Mordak, want my castle? What could he have against me and my family?
That I don't know. Ooh, I only know that it was Mordak who took your castle and your family. Well, perhaps I can help you. My employer also happens to be a wizard, which is why I recognized Mordak. Ooh, unlike Mordak, though, my employer is a very good wizard. His name is Crispin Arthur, but we all call him Crispin for short. The only problem is, you see... Woo-hoo-hoo! Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. The only problem is that Crispin is getting on in years and tends to be a bit forgetful.
I don't know. This doesn't sound as if it would work.
Oh, sure it would. Crispin is a very qualified wizard, one of the best. He just gets a little forgetful now and again, that's all. Now, where is it? Oh, I know I brought it with me. Aha! Here it is.
What is that?
Well, it is my opinion that you don't stand a chance against the likes of Mordak. Oh, excuse me for saying, Your Majesty, but you don't have a choice. You must come with me. I'm sure Crispin can help you.
What is that stuff?
just some old leftover fairy dust I've been carrying around. Ooh, it'll help you to fly. You can follow me to the land of Serenia, where Crispin and I live. It's much too far to walk, you know. Ooh, I think the fairy dust is still good. Come on, up here! Follow me! There it is! Down here! Come on!
Okay, here I come.
Ooh, looks like the fairy dust just wore off.
Cedric? Where have you been? I've been calling for you. Well, well, what have we here? A bit clumsy, are you? Well, come on in the house and dry off. No sense sitting around like a wet dog. Cedric, go into the house and pour each of us a nice hot cup of tea.
Ooh, aye aye, Crispin.
The Society of Wizards has always taken a dim view of Mordak and his abuse of his power. Why, he's even been put on suspension a few times. It never seems to do any good, though.
Crispin, why would Mordak want to take my family or castle? What did we ever do to him?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that. Mordak is a very unpredictable wizard. I've never understood that evil mind of his.
Ooh, I thought perhaps you could help His Majesty, Crispin. That's why I brought him here.
Well, let me see now. I used to be a very powerful wizard at one time, you know, but I've gotten a little rusty lately.
A little rusty.
That's quite enough from you, Cedric.
Ooh, yes, sir, Crispin, sir.
I don't know what I have that would be of much use to you. Most of my wizard stuff is pretty old and worn out. But let's see what I can find. That won't do. That's all used up. It might work. Here, eat this.
What is that?
That's an old piece of magical white snake I had left over from last year. With it, you'll be able to communicate with the natural and animal world. You could find that quite helpful. here's my old wand. I don't even know if it works anymore. Most of its power may be gone. You should know that wands are like pets. They've got to get to know you before they'll work for you. Just treat it with care and respect, and hopefully it will do something for you. You'd better get going, my boy. No telling what that confounded Morlock could be up to. You go with him, Cedric. Show him the way.
Oh, me!
Yes, you. Don't be such a coward. Now go on. You'd better get started.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate all you've done for me.
I suggest we visit the town first. How about it, Your Majesty?
Please don't call me Your Majesty, Cedric. It's much too formal. I'd like it if you'd just call me Graham.
I'd be delighted to, Graham. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, the town. You might be able to find some supplies there. It's just over a little hill to the south, not too far.
Well then, let's be on our way, Cedric.
Impatiently, Cedric waits for Graham. The hand-hewn wooden door is recessed within a small porch. A small cellar door is located under the house. An unusual ornament decorates Crispin's front yard. Crispin, being a wizard, it must have some magical significance which Graham could never understand. A tiny pond adds charm to Crispin's forested home. A small well is located near the cottage. Thick pane windows adorn the small house. It is difficult to see through them. Nestled among the trees of the forest sits the wizard Crispin's worn but cozy cottage. King Graham, heavy of heart, searches far and wide for his beloved family, who've been stolen by the evil wizard Mordak. Cedric seems to be quietly contemplating their current situation, and so is not inclined to indulge in conversation right now.
Ooh, don't bother with the cellar door. There's nothing there. Besides, it's locked. That's Crispin's universe interpreter. But be careful. You might accidentally realign the stars.
The cool pond water quenches Graham's thirst.
Don't be wasting your time coming in here. Young man, I've done all I can for you. Now it's up to you. Well, anyway, I'm not going to be here for a little while. There's an emergency I have to attend to in a neighboring land. I'll try to keep an eye out for you, but this is something you and Cedric are going to have to do yourselves. I wish you the best, King Graham.
I appreciate all you've done, Crispin. I'll be on my way now.
Graham, watch out! A poisonous snake!
A large, venomous snake blocks Graham's passage to the east. In silence, the large serpent eyes Graham menacingly. wasn't wise, Graham. He who speaks with forked tongue should never be trusted.
Graham, watch out! A poisonous snake!
A worn dirt path wanders through a thick wood, alive with the sounds of many creatures. Between the trees, to the east, Graham can see the outline of a great mountain range. Cedric waits for Graham just outside the small town. The quaint little town of Serenia nestles at the base of a great snow-capped mountain range which rises sharply to the east. A small tributary of the larger river powers an old water wheel as it flows through the town. Any journey across the great mountains promises to be very perilous indeed. Secure within a small pen, a spotted cow quietly chews her cud. A wild river tumbles down from the eastern mountains and flows swiftly below the small town.
If you're going into town, I'll just wait for you here. I had a nasty run-in with a big dog once, and I feel much safer out here.
The town is busy with people going about their daily chores. Graham notices an old wooden barrel on the street corner. While blocking an alleyway, a frustrated man fixes a broken wheel on his wagon. A prosperous-looking tailor shop occupies the town's main corner. A small toy shop fronts the town's cobblestone street. Nearly hidden at the end of the street sits a small shoe shop. Inside the barrel, Graham sees an old rotting fish. Inside the barrel, Graham sees an old rotting fish. Graham leans way down into the barrel and removes, phew, the smelly old fish.
How goes it with you, good fellow?
Not well, I'm afraid. This old wagon's always giving me trouble.
Can I help you in any way?
Thank you kindly, but I think I can handle it.
All right then. Good luck.
Thanks. With this wagon, I'm gonna need it.
May I help you, sir?
I'm interested in buying something here.
Let me show you some things. A fine piece of cloth. With this material, I could make you beautiful shirts. There isn't a more beautiful piece of fabric to be found anywhere. With this, I could make you the finest trousers you've ever had. Well, what do you think?
Well, right now I'm just looking. Thanks anyway.
Sure. Whatever you say, I'm just here to help.
The rude customer doesn't care to talk to Graham. In the corner of the shop, draped casually over a tailor's form, Graham sees a thick, fur-lined cloak. An employee of the tailor, a friendly, good-looking young man, caters hopelessly to a disagreeable customer in the one dressing room. The tailor, an aristocratic-looking man, attends solicitously to Graham as he looks at all the wares in the tailor shop. The busy tailor shop bustles with activity as Graham looks around with interest at all the tailor's wares.
I don't like this at all.
Graham notices a shiny silver coin lying forgotten on the street near the broken wagon. Bending down, Graham quickly retrieves the silver coin from the street.
Come on in, look around. Let me know if you're interested in anything.
Graham notices a strong little sled hanging on a side wall.
The shipment of carving wood hasn't come in yet. What should we do?
If it's not in by tomorrow, I'll send you to the sawmill.
Okay, Papa?
Grandpapa,
Yeah, my darling?
can I keep this doll? I really like her.
Now, Katrina, you know these toys are for sale for other kinder. Besides, you've got plenty of dolls. You can play midair, but just be careful.
All right, Grandpapa, I'll take care of her.
A child's wonderland of toys fills this quaint little toy shop. Apparently, the toy maker's son, working in the back room, is learning the toy business from his father. The plump old toy maker, who seems a jolly sort, carefully mends a toy while sitting comfortably behind the counter. A child's wonderland, a pretty little girl, who must be the toy maker's granddaughter, plays with a doll while grandfather looks on. The little girl is more interested in her doll. She pays no attention to Graham.
This is a fine little toy shop you have here. You must be very proud.
Danke, son. I've worked very hard at it over the years. But you know, you need to really love it. And I do.
Are most of these toys your creations?
Yeah, most of them. But not all. Some my son made. Some I bought. Some I traded for.
You're very talented.
Danke, danke. Well, let me know if I can help you.
Good day.
Take a look around if you want, but we don't have any shoes to sell you right now. We sold our last finished pair yesterday. Our business ain't doing so good anymore, and we're getting too old to keep trying.
Is there anything I can do to help?
There ain't nothing you can do, short of buying us out. But like I said, if you want to look around, feel free.
Okay, thanks.
A skinny old dog lies down on the hard floor of the shoe shop. The shoemaker's wife, looking haggard and worn, tiredly stitches away at a large piece of shoe leather. The old shoemaker, eyes squinted and fingers calloused from years of making shoes, drives tiny nails into a shoe sole with a small cobbler's hammer. Business doesn't seem to be so good for the shoemaker and his wife. There isn't even one pair of shoes for sale, and the old couple look tired and worn out. The old shoemaker wearily hammers tiny nails in a shoe sole. He doesn't even seem to notice Graham.
You don't have any shoes for sale, huh?
That's right. No shoes at all. We're making a pair right now, but it'll take a while. We're not as fast as we used to be.
Oh, that's okay. My own boots should carry me through the rest of my journey.
Sorry, son. We're doing the best we can.
Nice day, isn't it? Hello. Out of my way, mister.
No, Graham, don't!
Too bad. Graham's swimming skills were no match for the mighty river. The bakehouse door beckons to all hungry travelers. The cold river courses swiftly by the town bakehouse. A rutted dirt road travels east and west beside the rushing river. Graham spies a huge pile of logs to fuel the bakehouse ovens. Cedric keeps an eye on Graham near the town bakehouse.
Ooh, I'll wait for you here, Graham.
And how is your poor dear mother doing, William?
Oh, she hasn't been doing too well lately. But my brother and I help out whenever we can. Thanks for asking, Amanda.
Austin, keep your fingers out of that pie. The pies look lovely. I think I'll take one.
Yes, they were just made fresh this morning. Here you go.
Yes, this will be a fine dessert for our dinner tonight. Let's go home, Austin.
What's your name?
My name is Austin. I'm here with my mama. We're buying a pie for dinner tonight.
That's nice. Good day, madam. That pie looks awfully good.
Ah, yes. My family will enjoy it, I'm sure.
The lady appears to be in a real hurry as she walks briskly past Graham. The little boy looks all dressed up for some special occasion. Delicious, mouth-watering custard pies lining the tables and countertop attract Graham's eyes and nose. Graham can see the bakehouse kitchen through the partially open Dutch door. The Baker brothers seem to have a pet, a large, mangy cat.
Here's the last of the pies.
Welcome to our bakehouse, traveler. Of course, all of our wares are wonderful, but today we've got a special on custard pies. Just 1 silver coin each, but take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
In the kitchen of the bakehouse, Graham can see another big, burly man doing the day's baking. The baker, a large, sturdy fellow, waits for customers behind a pie-covered counter. Delicious, mouth-watering custard pies lining the tables and countertop attract Graham's eyes and nose. The baker's brother is too busy to chat with Graham.
Everything looks so delicious, it's hard to decide what to buy.
Everybody has that problem, but what a problem to have.
Those custard pies look most delicious.
Yes, they're made from a recipe handed down from our dear mama and her mama before her.
It's still hard to decide, though.
Well, take your time, there's no hurry.
The baker's brother. It is but a common silver coin.
Sir, I would like to purchase one of your custard pies.
These pies cost 1 silver coin each.
I've got it right here. Here you go.
I hope you enjoy your custard pie.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Just off a rutted dirt road, a country inn overlooks the picturesque rushing river. Weary travelers can enter through the inn's front door. This is a side entrance of the quaint country inn. A large haystack dominates the area in front of the barn. An old, uninteresting barn is located behind the country inn.
Ooh, I'll wait for you out here. I don't like that place.
Graham notices 3 rough-looking men huddled over the bar in serious conversation. Since they're talking in such low tones, Graham can't quite hear what they're saying. A flea-bitten old dog lies asleep in the corner. The Country Inn's tavern looks a bit shabby and run down. At the bar, Graham notices 3 men.
Gentlemen, please excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Diana's full, ain't got no more rooms.
Hey boss, this guy looks like a real troublemaker. What do you want me to do with him?
Rub 'em out.
Struggle as he might, Graham could not escape his bonds. Don't worry, Graham. The innkeeper will soon put you out of your misery.
Watch out for the bear, Graham!
A large bear seems to be very interested in the honey inside the old tree. A swarm of bees buzz around a hole in a rotted old tree. Not being much of a honey eater, Cedric shows little interest in the beehive. Graham notices a large stick lying on the ground near the old tree. Tisk, tisk. Graham should know better than to feed the bears. Phew! This smelly old fish is disgusting.
Watch out for the bear, Graham!
I am Queen Beatrice, kind sir. I wish to thank you ever so much for saving our hive from the claws of that horrible bear. In return, I offer you a luscious honeycomb from our hive. Please feel free to retrieve one. I promise my bees won't harm you. It may come in handy on your travels.
Graham reaches a hand into the beehive and retrieves a very sticky chunk of honeycomb. Wrapping it in a protective piece of cloth, he then pockets it. Graham bends down and picks up the large stick from the ground. Cedric is too busy looking around and doesn't seem to be paying any attention to Graham at the moment. Graham notices a huge anthill in the distance to the north. A bully of a dog terrorizes the poor ants as he playfully digs at their large anthill. A mangy old dog digs playfully at the huge anthill while the poor ants scurry about frantically. It appears to be an average stick of wood.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm King Antony the Great. May I ask who you are?
Why, certainly. I'm King Graham of Daventry, and this is my friend Cedric. We're seeking a way to cross the great mountains to the ocean on the other side.
That is a very perilous undertaking. I wish you would reconsider. But if you shall not, in return for rescuing our home from that flea-bitten cur, I wish to offer you our help, if perchance you may ever need it.
Thank you very much, King Antony. Cedric and I appreciate your kind offer. We look forward to meeting you again.
A colony of large ants parade up and down a huge anthill built amid some scrubby bushes. A gypsy wagon can be seen in the distance to the north.
There's nothing but a hot, dry desert further west. Most people avoid it because there are bandits out there. If you insist on going, I'll wait for you here.
The scraggly bushes of the dry brushland taper off to a hot, sandy desert as far as the eye can see to the west. To the east, Graham can see the sparse edge of Serenia's woods. Too bad. Even the sting of such a small creature can prove deadly. A small oasis. Its tantalizing water, so sparkling in the desert sun. Graham's hot, thirsty body is irresistibly drawn to it. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Uh-oh. A picked clean and sun-bleached skeleton lies in the sand of the hot, dry desert. What happened? Who can say? But it makes Graham uneasy nevertheless. An old shoe lies forgotten near the poor skeleton. Uneasily, Graham reaches down and removes the old shoe from the desert sand. Graham can't do much to help the poor man now, and vice versa. The hot sun and choking sands are taking their toll on Graham. He must drink, and soon. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Rocky cliffs rise high above Graham's head. The rocks look interesting, but too large to do anything with. From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats.
Open sesame!
A small pool of water has formed in the space between the two rocks. life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. Looming majestically before him, the massive temple door beckons tantalizingly to Graham.
Open sesame!
The temple door won't open. Perhaps there's something missing. Carved into the rocky cliffs, an ancient temple tower. Stone statues of Pegasus seem to guard the old crumbling temple. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. A large clay jar full of water stands by the campfire. The campfire, all but forgotten, has been reduced to a pile of glowing embers. With disgust, Graham looks at a drunken bandit lying face down in the desert sand, completely passed out. A lone camel waits near the large tent, while its owner celebrates inside. The bandit's horses rest in the desert sun, while their unsavory owners revel within the large tent. There doesn't seem to be any activity within the smaller tent. Overhearing loud music and drunken laughter from within the larger tent, Graham guesses the bandits must be celebrating their latest plunder. Overhearing loud music, a beautiful harem girl belly dances for the merrymaking bandits within the larger tent.
An intruder!
That wasn't a very smart move, Graham. Snoring loudly upon a beautiful carpet lies a sleeping bandit. Graham should avoid the bandit at all costs.
Thanks again for all your help.
Who are you? A spy!
That wasn't a very smart move for Graham to make. Assorted odds and ends clutter the inside of this small tent, while upon a lovely carpet sleeps another of the despicable renegades. A jeweled staff leaning against the back of the tent catches Graham's interest. Taking care to be very quiet, Graham reaches out and takes the staff into his possession. Ah, life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The jeweled staff is obviously the work of an expert craftsman. The custard pie looks delicious. Honey drips at the edges of the honeycomb chunk. The old wand doesn't seem to have any vitality left in it. The worn old shoe is cracked and dry from the desert sun. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him.
Open sesame! Oh no! The staff broke.
Bending down, Graham hurriedly picks up the gold coin from the temple floor. Quickly, Graham grabs the old brass bottle.
Phew, that was close.
The staff lies in several broken pieces on the temple steps. The staff is broken and is of no use anymore. This is an old, tarnished brass bottle. It is a shiny gold coin.
Ah, freedom at last! Now you spend the next 500 years in a bottle.
Graham should know better than to keep things bottled up inside. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him. The
Well, there you are. I was just starting to get concerned.
Don't worry about me, Cedric. I'm used to this kind of thing.
Ooh, keep your eye on the gypsies, Graham. I don't trust them.
A large ox, tied to the gypsy's wagon, peacefully munches on grass. A steaming pot of stew bubbles over a small campfire near the gypsy wagon. A gypsy wagon is encamped here at the edge of the woods. On the side of the wagon, the words "Fortune Teller" have been painted. Within the gypsy encampment, Graham notices a tall, burly man who keeps a suspicious eye on him and Cedric. The burly man keeps a watchful eye on Graham and Cedric. The sullen man doesn't appear to be the conversational sort.
It will cost you 1 gold coin to see Madamushka. You may see Madamushka now.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
It will cost you 1 gold. You may see Madamushka now.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
So, you are here to see Madamushka, no? Well, come closer. Sit down. I will tell you your fortune. Already I can tell that you are on a quest of great urgency. We will see what we can find out for you. Look, King-rom. Look into the crystal ball.
Look, Mananan. Look what I have for you. Take a good look at what you did to my brother, Alexander. Because of you, he's doomed to spend the rest of his days as a cat, and there's nothing I can do about it. But you can do something about it. Since you're the one that did this to him, you're the only one who can turn him back again. Back to the wizard Mananan.
Alexander! I don't know how, Mordak. I'm not a wizard. I just happened to stumble across some magic spells and accidentally turned your brother into a cat. I didn't mean it. Please believe me, Mordak. I don't know how to turn him back into a wizard.
You're holding out on me, little man. You're taking advantage of my good nature, but not for long. If I don't get a change of tune from you soon, I'll feed your family to the cat, starting with your dear mother. Remember what I said. I'll only give you a little more time to decide before your family becomes cat food.
That is all. But I see that your mission is very dangerous indeed. I will give you something to help you. Here, wear this. It is a magic amulet. It will protect you against all but the most powerful magic. Good luck, King-rom. Be careful. That Mordak is a bad one.
Thank you, Madamushka.
The amulet is attached to a soft leather thong. Having other things on his mind, Cedric doesn't appear to be in the mood to talk right now. The ox's mouth is too full of grass to even attempt a conversation with Graham. The sullen man doesn't appear to be the conversational sort.
Madamushka is tired. No more for today.
Impatiently, Cedric waits for Graham. A lovely little pond surrounds the base of a beautiful weeping willow tree.
What's wrong, Graham?
That's salt water.
A graceful weeping willow tree grows beside a small pond created from her tears. In her branch-like arms she clutches a beautiful harp as a child would a cherished toy.
Leave my harp alone. It's mine.
Miss Willow?
Yes?
You can talk?
Why, of course I can. What did you expect?
Well, I've never seen a talking tree before. What's wrong?
Everything's wrong, can't you tell? I'm not really a tree. I'm really a princess. You see, my fiancé and I were walking through this wood when a nasty old witch came along and was instantly charmed by my handsome prince. When he naturally refused her advances, she jealously banished him to a faraway land and turned me into a tree. Then she stole my heart.
Stole your heart?
Yes. She turned my heart to gold and took it away with her. The only way I can become human again is to have my heart brought back. Now, all I have to cheer me up is my harp. It's quite magical, you know. It plays the sweetest music you've ever heard. Now please, leave me alone in my sorrow.
The entrance to the small house is through a crudely constructed door. Utilizing fallen logs, a gnome has built a little forest home. Sitting on a stool in front of his house, a young gnome happily plays with an exquisite marionette. An old grandfather gnome sits contentedly on an old stump and smokes a large pipe while watching his grandson at play. In the distance to the north, Graham can see a lovely willow tree surrounded by a small pond.
Excuse me, sir. Oh, I'm terribly sorry to bother you. I was just noticing your son's marionette. It's very interesting. Where did you get it?
It's grandson, not son. And I made it for him. Why do you care?
I just wanted to comment on its artistry. It's very well done. I don't suppose it could be bought.
If it could, the price would be very steep. I reckon you couldn't afford it. Now, leave me and my grandson be. I don't like strangers trespassing in my house.
Graham watches with surprise as a contingent of ants marches into the haystack and begins to swarm through it.
I'm glad to see there was a way that we could be of help to you. Look here. We found a golden needle in the haystack. I'd like to present it to you. Perhaps you can find a use for it.
Why, thank you, King Antony. I'm honored.
Good luck in your travels, King Graham. And be careful.
A large haystack dominates the area in front of the barn. Suddenly, Frantic squeakings alert Graham to a mangy cat chasing a terrified rat.
Oh, thank you, good sir. You saved my life. My children and I will never forget your kindness. Maybe someday I'll be able to return the favor. Oh, I hear my children calling. Goodbye, until we meet again.
What a wonderful bluebird! It could almost make Graham happy again if it wasn't for his family. Upon a fallen log sits a dashing young prince who looks very sad and confused. Despite his own troubles, Graham feels sorry for the young man who obviously has troubles of his own. Graham could never catch the bluebird.
Excuse me, young man. Sorry to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice you sitting there on that log. I was wondering if there was anything wrong.
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, there is. I've been searching everywhere for my fiancée. She's a beautiful princess with long golden tresses, fetching blue eyes, and smooth creamy skin. Have you seen her anywhere about?
No, sorry, I haven't seen anyone like that.
That's what I figured. No one has seen her. I bet that a witch who lives in the dark forest had something to do with her disappearance.
I'll keep an eye out for her. If I see her, I'll let her know you're looking for her.
I would appreciate that. Well, I guess I'd better get back to looking for her. I'm not ever going to find her just sitting around here. Thanks for your concern.
The wide dirt path ends at a crude warning sign placed before an ominous-looking forest. Beyond the sign, the path narrows to nothing more than a root and snarled trail. The sign seems self-explanatory enough. Enter at your own risk. An old hollow log lies in a small clearing before the gloomy forest. Cedric perches nervously on a tree limb at the edge of a gloomy forest.
Back to the east is Crispin's house. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not going in there. Can't you read the sign?
Come on, Cedric. There might be something important in here.
Go if you want to. I'll wait here.
Numerous roots, rocks, and ruts choke the narrow forest path, which branches either to the right or to the left. And snarling roots, creeping vines, decaying logs, twisted, gnarled trees. The close feeling of the gloomy forest quickly overwhelms Graham. Numerous roots. That old witch caught Graham totally off guard. The magic amulet begins to glow softly as Graham slips it over his head. He then carefully tucks the amulet into the front of his tunic, hiding it from sight. To Graham's great relief, it appears that the witch's magic has been stopped by the amulet he is wearing, just as Madame Mushka said it would. Of all the ugly hags Graham has seen in his life, this is by far the ugliest.
What are you doing in my forest, young man? Don't you know you're trespassing?
Oh, I didn't know this was a private forest. Do you own it?
Of course I own it. It's mine. And what did you do to my magic?
I don't think you need to know. Now tell me something. How does one leave this confusing forest?
I'll never tell. I'm afraid you're stuck, dearie. Now you're my prisoner.
We'll see about that.
Yes, won't we?
Mumbling and muttering to herself, the ugly old hag refuses to indulge in any further conversation with Graham.
What's this?
Ah, freedom at last! Now you spend the next 500 years in a bottle.
Good. That old witch won't be seen here for a long time. But now, how to get out of this dreadful forest?
It seems to Graham that there is an unusually large number of toads in this forest. A small door built into the trunk of a large twisted tree catches Graham's attention. Graham tugs firmly on the door in the tree, but finds it securely locked. The dark forest seems to encase the witch's bizarre little house like a claustrophobic shroud. The dark forest. A grotesque bridge of rib-like bones crosses the hot crevasse where a path continues to the front door of the odd little house. A small door fronts the odd structure. A crude, misshapen structure which remotely resembles a house sits forlornly in the center of the gloomy forest. A crevasse spewing hot steam and licks of flames surrounds it. The old witch's house has been crudely fashioned from an old tree trunk and salvaged stone. Being cold and creepy, Graham finds he would just as soon hurry up and leave. Graham spies a small drawer built into the trunk of a tree, which pokes awkwardly through the wall of the house. A small leather pouch is tucked away in the drawer. Graham reaches the drawer and removes the leather pouch. The small leather pouch is drawn tightly closed. Upon opening the leather pouch, Graham discovers 3 sparkling emeralds. The trio of sparkling emeralds dazzle the eyes. An interesting incense burner hangs from a protruding tree branch. Occasionally, from within it, a tiny glint winks. Tucked under a large crack in the wall, which seems to serve as a window, Graham sees an interesting wooden trunk. A small, intricate spinning wheel is put away in the trunk. Reaching a hand into the trunk, Graham retrieves the small spinning wheel. What's this? Why, it's a little key. Graham finds that the little key fits perfectly in this lock. Graham is charmed to find a little golden heart inside the door of the twisted old tree. Reaching into the little door of the tree, Graham extracts the little golden heart. Uh-oh. Watch out for those drop-offs, Graham. Strange plants and animals inhabit this dark and dreary place, while thin rays of sunlight barely break the surface of the forest's thick foliage. A large, rock-like creature blocks further passage to the west. Peering curiously at him through the heavy foliage of the dark forest, Graham notices several pairs of bright, blinking eyes.
Hello? Who's there? I say, who's there? Please help me. Please? Oh, never mind.
Graham squeezes the honeycomb as hard as he can, which causes the honey to drip out of it onto the ground, creating a sticky little puddle at his feet. Now all that's left of the honeycomb is a piece of beeswax, which Graham puts back in his pocket. A sticky puddle of honey lies on the ground. The trio of sparkling emeralds dazzle the eyes.
Please, let me go. I beg of you.
Why should I do that? What will you do for me?
I'll show you the way out of the forest, if you let me go.
How do I know I can trust you?
I give you my word. An elf never breaks his word.
Well, it's against my better judgment, but okay.
Move over, Rocky. You're in our way.
Sorry.
Rocky has moved aside to allow Graham another passage through the forest. Strange plants and small hole burrows in at the base of an immense tree.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
Hey! Over here! I've got something for you! I never take anything without giving in return. For your generosity in giving me those exquisite emeralds, I give you my finest pair of shoes. May they help you in your quest. Follow that passage over there. It's the way out of the dark forest.
Thank you very much for all your help. I'm sure I'll be able to find a use for these fine shoes.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're okay. I was beginning to worry.
You were right not to want to venture in that dark forest, Cedric. I thought I'd never get out of there alive.
Back to the east is Crispin's house.
The small heart is made of pure gold.
My heart, you found it! I don't need this old thing anymore. Look at me, I'm a princess again. Herbert!
Alicia. Where have you been all this time, my love?
Oh, darling, just take me home. I'll tell you on the way.
A beautiful harp lies on the ground near the small pond.
Now, why would she toss aside this beautiful harp? Well, if she doesn't want it, I'll take it.
Graham notices a grassy clearing at the edge of the woods. Graham notices a Not seeing the tambourine's owner, Graham bends down and rescues it from the ground. It is an ordinary tambourine. The ants are too busy to engage in conversation with Graham.
Ooh, is that a new dance, Graham? The Boogaloo?
Where did you get this? I thought I had lost it.
Oh, is it yours? I found it in the old witch's house in the dark forest.
So that's where it got to. The old hag took it, eh? You know, this ain't an ordinary spinning wheel.
It's not? What's so special about it?
Why, this spinning wheel can spin straw into gold, that's what. Except you gotta know how to use it. I doubt even the witch could figure that out. Thank you for bringing it back to me.
Now wait, not so fast. How about that marionette? Don't you think the price of the spinning wheel is worth at least twice that of the puppet? I'd love to have it.
Yeah, I guess so. Boy, give that marionette to the man here. I'll make you a new one. Come on, boy. Let's gather up some wood for a new puppet.
King Graham, heavy of heart, searches far and wide for his beloved family, who've been stolen by the evil wizard Mordak. The key won't fit this lock.
Come on in, look around. Let me know if you're interested in anything. Though did you get this wunderbar marionette? The craftsmanship is excellent.
Well, I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but I got it from a little gnome.
I must have it. Can I buy it from you?
Actually, you may have it if you'll give me the sled in trade.
Why, of course. But I must tell you, I think I'm getting the better deal. I can always make another sled, but finding another marionette of this quality... Ich weiß nicht.
So, can I have the sled?
Yeah, take it, it's yours.
Thank you very much. I think I'll find this sled very useful.
Well, you enjoy it, and danke for the marionette.
A pet goldfish swims endlessly around in its fishbowl.
It's you again, is it? We still don't have any shoes for sale.
This is the finest pair of shoes Graham has ever seen, although a bit small for his feet.
What have we here? Mama, take those shoes from the young man. Let me see them. These are the finest pair of shoes I've ever seen. The leather is soft and pliable, yet sturdy. The craftsmanship of these shoes are superb. And Mama, look at the solid gold buckle. Why, I could retire from the sale of these shoes.
Then the shoes are yours. I don't think I could find a better use for them.
You are a godsend, young man. How can we ever repay you?
You don't need to repay me. Just knowing I helped you is enough for me.
Well, it ain't much, but it's all I've got to give. Here, take my cobbler's hammer. Perhaps you can find a use for it. Since I'll be retiring, I won't need it anymore. Thanks to you.
Why, thank you. A hammer could be very useful on my journey.
Take care, young man. We'll never forget this.
That's right, son. We'll finally be able to retire in comfort. You'll be in our hearts from now on. Come on, Mama, let's go home. Let's celebrate our good fortune.
The old shop is empty now that the shoemaker and his wife have retired. A cobbler would normally use this small hammer to make shoes.
Ooh, I'll wait for you out here. I don't like that place.
You know that job we pulled yesterday? Where's the rest of the loot, huh? I think one of you guys is holding out on me.
Gentlemen, please excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Diana's full, ain't got no more rooms.
Hey, boss, this guy looks like a real troublemaker. What do you want me to do with him?
Rob him out.
Struggle as he might, Graham could not escape his bonds.
I told you I'd repay your kindness when you saved me from that horrible cat. Good luck, friend.
Lying in a heap on the stone floor, Graham sees the rope that once held him captive. Graham stoops down and picks up the sturdy rope from the stone floor. Graham has unfortunately found himself locked in the country inn's dusty, dirty cellar. In one corner of the cellar, Graham notices a large rat hole. Graham has unfortunately found himself locked. A small set of rickety wooden stairs lead up to the cellar door. A rusty padlock securing the door prevents Graham from leaving the cellar. Using the cobbler's hammer, Graham pounds on the rusty padlock until it breaks apart. A small set of rickety wooden... Graham looks around the inn's kitchen and finds it rather sparse and untidy. It appears that the door leads outside. The sound of men talking and laughing loudly floats through the door. Graham looks around the inn's kitchen and finds it... In the corner of the room, Graham spies a large kitchen cupboard. Inside the cupboard, Graham sees a large, juicy leg of lamb. Reaching into the open cupboard, Graham pulls out the savory leg of lamb. Finding the kitchen door locked, Graham unlocks it before going outside.
Begone, you slithery varmint! Scat!
May I help you, sir? My golden needle! Wherever did you find it?
It was in a haystack by the country inn.
By the inn? Oh yes, I remember visiting there not long ago. Oh, vulgar man, that innkeeper. He has no scruples at all.
Please see fit to give me that wonderful cloak in exchange for it.
The cloak? Well, why not? It's yours, for the price of a golden needle.
Thank you, kind sir. I'm sure it will help me on my travel.
I'm sure it will. Good luck. Au revoir.
A few hours later, Graham dons his warm cloak for protection against the freezing mountain air. A frozen waterfall hinders Graham's progress, as in the warmer seasons it had washed away part of the path on which he is currently traveling. The remains of an old tree poke out of the mountainside near an upper ledge. Graham notices a rock overhang near an upper ledge. A good strong rope is a handy item to have. Graham notices his stomach beginning to rumble with hunger from the exertion of the mountain climb.
Oh, be careful, Graham!
This is a large, mouth-watering leg of lamb. Graham finds the leg of lamb a bit tough, but tasty enough. Filling up quickly, he saves the other half for later.
No, stay away from the edge!
Uh-oh, that's...
Oh, do be careful, Graham!
An old log has fallen precariously across a washed-out portion of the narrow trail. Cedric is too busy looking around and doesn't seem to be paying any attention to Graham at the moment.
Graham, help me!
Cedric! Drat, my sled is broken.
Graham's sled lies in several broken pieces on the eastern side of the icy crevasse. The broken sled is now no good to anybody. A castle buried in snow and ice, perched precariously atop a steep pinnacle. A shivering eagle perches weakly upon a small rock. Despite his own problems, Graham's heart goes out to the poor thing.
What's wrong, Mr. Eagle?
I'm so weak from hunger. I haven't been able to catch any food for days. I can barely fly anymore.
I'd like to help you. Let me see what I can do.
Thank you. I need food.
This is a leftover half leg of lamb.
Here, take this. Perhaps it will help you.
You are a kind man to share your meager food with a poor bird, especially up here in these snowy mountains.
Well, I couldn't just stand there and let you starve to death. What kind of person would I be?
You have shown yourself to be a kind, compassionate man, and I will not forget what you did for me. Goodbye, dear friend.
I am Queen Isabella, and you have entered my domain now. I command you to kneel before me. Since both you and your friend over there have so thoughtlessly invaded my territory without my permission or knowledge, I have decided you shall both be put to death. Take him away, my pet.
Poor Graham. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
Wait, my pet. That was very lovely music. I've never heard anything quite that beautiful before. I think I felt my heart melting. Just a little bit. Just enough, that is, to allow you a chance for your freedom. A vicious Yeti has entered the area and taken up residence in my prized crystal cave. So far, I have been unable to extricate him from either the cave or my territory. If you can rid me of the Yeti, I will release both you and your owl friend, and you two can continue on your journey unhindered. You may rise now. I wish you luck in defeating the Yeti. If you succeed, you will have my undying gratitude. Go with him, Sir Grey Wolf. Show him the way to the Crystal Cave. You may go now. Sir Grey Wolf will lead the way.
Yonder's the crystal cave. There you will find the Yeti.
The savage gray wolf stubbornly blocks Graham's passage back to the Ice Queen's palace. Graham's only option is to go toward a distant cave, where the dreaded Yeti can be found.
Sir Wolf, I don't know how you expect me to conquer a Yeti. Why, he's got to be at least twice as big as me, and much, much more powerful. What do you expect me to do?
That is your problem, not mine. It has been decreed by Queen Isabella, and I must carry out her wishes. Now, no more talking. Go to the crystal cave.
A dangerous, snowy path skirts the edge of a vertical mountainside toward a distant cave. That will do nothing to help Graham fight the powerful Yeti. What an abominable situation Graham has found himself in. Through the yawning entrance of the cave, Graham can see many beautiful crystals sparkling and flashing from within. Brilliant crystals flashing and sparkling and reflecting off the numerous waterfalls cause Graham to gaze in awe and wonderment at the dazzling spectacle before him. Brilliant crystals. One particularly brilliant crystal catches Graham's attention among all the other glittering crystals in the cave. So very gently, Graham hits the beautiful crystal several times with his hammer until it breaks loose in one piece. He then carefully places it among his other possessions. The brilliant crystal shard feels smooth in Graham's hands. The brilliant crystal shard feels smooth in Graham's hands.
I see that the Yeti is dead. Queen Isabella will be pleased. Come, follow me.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
Ah, good. You have returned in victory, I presume.
Yes, Your Majesty. The Yeti is dead. He will no longer be a scourge upon your realm. Are my friend and I free to go now?
Yes, I keep my promises. I want to thank you for ridding my mountain domain of the horrible Yeti. Please rise, King Graham. Yes, I know who you are, and I have been informed of your quest. I do wish you luck against the wizard Mordak. You two may go. We wish you well on your difficult journey. Sir Grey Wolf will show you the way out of the mountain.
Graham's duty's done. The large gray wolf now sits in silence, blocking the passage back to the Ice Queen's palace.
Let's go, Graham. I'm cold, and I want to get out of here.
A twisty path winds confusingly along the rocky mountainside.
Graham, watch out!
The huge egg is beginning to crack. This is a bad situation indeed. Graham finds himself in a terrible situation. Dropped painfully in the middle of a huge rock's nest set high on a rocky ledge with no way of climbing down. Graham can see a glittering gold locket lying among the leaves and sticks of the rock's nest. Graham rescues a lovely golden locket from the leafy clutches of the rock's nest.
Nice birdie. Good birdie. Gucci Gucci Goo.
Hang on, I'll get you out of this.
Oh, Graham, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
You'd never believe it, Cedric. You'd never believe it.
A short path starting from a ledge halfway up the cliffside winds snake-like down to a narrow beach. Graham notices a rusty iron bar lying on the sand near the bottom of the windy path. A narrow strand of beach skirts the bottom of the steep cliffs, while the cold water of the ocean seems to cunningly steal what little is left. A narrow strand of beach. Graham spies a small boat in the distance. Further up the beach, Graham can see a lovely waterfall cascading down the cliffs into the cold blue waters of the ocean. A narrow strand of beach skirts.
Look, Graham, there's a boat here. Maybe we can use it.
Come on, Cedric, get in the boat.
Aye, aye, Captain. Watch out, there's a hole in the boat.
Help! Help!
Thanks for playing King's Quest V.
Oh, Graham, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
You'd never believe it, Cedric. You'd never believe it.
A makeshift house fashioned from the bow of a wrecked ship occupies the south end of a small, narrow beach. Graham notices the ship's bell hanging near the door of the house. The ocean's cold water seems to lap hungrily toward the small ship house built against the steep cliffs of the narrow beach. Graham pounds on the door, but he finds it bolted from the inside. He can, however, hear activity within.
Who are you? And what are you doing on my beach?
I'm King Graham of Daventry, and I'm on a journey to find the wizard Mordak's island, but I seem to be stuck. I don't know where to go from here.
Hey, what's that you say?
Look, Graham, there's a boat here. Maybe we can use it.
An old cast-off sailboat sits forlornly on the narrow sandy beach. Firmly, Graham wedges the softened piece of beeswax into the small hole in the boat's hull. Hopefully, the wax will hold and make her seaworthy.
Come on, Cedric, get in the boat.
Aye, aye, Captain. Look, Graham. Ooh, an island. Perhaps we should explore it.
Yes, I think we should, Cedric.
Ooh, Graham, I don't like the looks of this.
Me neither.
Graham, help me!
Where did you find him, Manada? We found him on the beach. Isn't he luscious? I don't know. He doesn't look like my type. What do you think, Krulina? I think he looks too old and tough. I like my meals to be young and tender. Don't be so picky. Yes, you did. I saw you steal a man off a raft just last week. Oh, he doesn't count. He was already tipped over by the time I got to him. Well, at least this one's fresh. I don't know about you girls, but I'm ready to eat. Oh, you're always ready to eat. That's why you're so fat. I am not. You are too. I am not. You are too. Oh, quit arguing.
hate to harp on the subject, but Graham was no match for the vicious harpies.
Yes, you did. I saw you steal a man off a raft just last week. Oh, he doesn't count. He was already tipped over by the time I got to him. What's he doing? What's that thing? I don't know, but I want it. Hey, let's stop here. Come on, get her, girl. Get her.
Half hidden in the coarse island grass, Graham notices an old fishhook. Graham quickly bends down and rescues the fishhook from the ground. The sandy path ends at two narrow ledges overhanging the craggy island. The sandy path. Poor Cedric. Having been seriously wounded by the vicious harpies, he now lies moaning and in pain upon the sandy path. From the nearby beach, a sandy path continues upward to a high point of the craggy island.
Cedric, where do you hurt?
Everywhere.
Graham notices a large conch shell lying delicately upon the sandy beach. Graham bends over and picks up the beautifully colored shell.
Quit bothering me!
Do you know where the wizard Mordak lives?
What? Speak louder, boy!
Graham can almost hear the ocean inside the spiral shell of the conch. The heavy iron bar is a bit rusted from being out in the weather. This is a rusted old fishhook. The pouch is empty.
What's this? Now what were you wanting?
My owl friend is hurt. He was wounded by the harpies.
Wounded by the harpies, did you say? Well, if you bring him to me, I'll fix him right up. Good as new.
Having found help for Cedric from the old hermit, Graham decides it would be best to sail there rather than risk hurting him further by carrying him.
Came back, eh? Bring your friend on in here and I'll see if I can heal him up. Lay him on the bed there. These poultices should fix the little feller up good as new.
I'm feeling better already. Tell me, what was in those poultices? My employer would be very interested in them.
Hey, what was that?
I said, what was in those poultices? My employer would be interested in them.
Gifts from the sea, lad. Gifts from the sea. Ain't nothing special. You just gotta know how to use them. I don't think you'd find them particularly interesting. Now, son, what was it you were trying to tell me before?
I was trying to find out where the wizard Mordak's island is. He kidnapped my family and is holding them hostage there. I must get to them before it's too late.
Oh, I'm right sorry to hear about that. He's a nasty one, that Mordak. I wouldn't want to tangle with him. I tried to talk you out of going there, except I can see you can't leave your poor defenseless family unaided. I can enlist someone who can lead you straight to his island. Follow me outside. Pearl, this man needs your help. He needs you to lead him to Mordak's island. It's a real emergency. Mordak's holding his family hostage. Pearl can't speak human talk, but she's agreed to help you. Just get on into your boat and follow her.
Cedric and I want to thank you for all your help, Mr.
Don't worry about who I am. You just get on over to that there island and take care of your family.
Aye, aye, sir. We're off. Come on, Cedric. Brace yourself, Cedric!
Help me, I'm caught! Oh, help!
Are you all right, Cedric?
Well, let me see. Oh, I'm fine, Graham. Just a bit ruffled is all. Oh, I hate to say this, Graham, but I don't like this place at all.
I know what you mean, Cedric.
Now what? Graham's boat has been dashed to pieces against the jagged rocks of Mordak's island. A crude set of stairs has been carved into the rocky cliffs of Mordak's island. Above them, a narrow, winding trail leads on up to his castle. A dead fish lies on the sand beach at the foot of the rocky stairs.
Ugh, a dead fish. Oh, maybe I can use it.
Oh, I don't like this place. It's creepy.
Two monstrous statues of grotesque, distorted serpents face each other across the narrow trail leading to Mordak's castle. The giant figures can't be climbed without risking life and limb, and since they are made of stone, can't be harmed. Too bad. It looks like the eyes have it.
Oh, I don't like this place. It's creepy.
monstrous statues with burned-out eyes face each other across the narrow trail leading to Mordak's castle. The narrow, rocky trail leads straight to the front gate of Mordak's castle. A bizarre castle seeming to rise up out of the very rocks of the strange island like some sort of grotesque growth beckons.
Well, it looks like there's no way in. Let's turn back.
Come on, Cedric!
See? Get in! Let's go back now.
No, I'll figure this out.
Graham has found a stone platform on the west side of the strange castle. The twisted and deformed shapes of the island's rocks seem to grow up out of the very earth like strange weeds. Cedric perches nervously as he surveys the surrounding area. Graham notices a rusted grate embedded into a stone platform next to Mordak's castle. Graham tugs hard on the grate, but soon finds it's rusted in place and can't be budged. Cedric seems to be quietly contemplating their current situation, and so is not inclined to indulge in conversation right now.
Ooh, you're crazy to go down into that dark hole. You don't know what's down there.
Well, do you have any better ideas?
No, mind if I wait for you here?
No, that's a good idea, Cedric. You be the lookout out here.
Yes. Whoa, be the lookout. Ooh, be careful, Graham.
Graham looks around in terrified confusion as he finds himself in a labyrinth somewhere underneath Mordak's castle. High above him, Graham sees the hole by which he entered these confusing underground tunnels. Graham looks around in terrified confusion. A huge beast, sporting a fluffy topknot, bound in a crude hairpin on top of his head, skulks in one dark corner of the labyrinth. Graham sees the beast's hairpin lying on the stone floor of the labyrinth. Graham reaches down and grabs the hairpin off the labyrinth floor. Graham Graham looks around in terrified confusion as he finds himself in a labyrinth somewhere underneath Mordak's castle. There is a wooden door here. Perhaps it will lead into the castle. Graham tries to open the wooden door, but to no avail as it's securely locked. Graham would look silly wearing that hairpin. Graham inserts the hairpin into the door's large keyhole and discovers, to his amazement, that it fits perfectly. Turning it ever so gently, he soon hears a soft click, and the door is unlocked. A set of wide steps leads up from the labyrinth door to a pantry off the wizard's kitchen. Graham scans the various items lining the open shelves, but doesn't see anything of interest. A set of wide steps leads up from a closed cupboard in the corner of the pantry catches Graham's interest. Inside the cupboard, Graham's eyes fall upon a bag of dried peas. Graham's eyes fall on a bag of dried peas in the open cupboard. Reaching into the open cupboard, Graham retrieves the bag of dried peas. Graham can see into the kitchen through the open pantry door. A fire burns hotly in the fireplace, while something in the iron pot boils above it. Graham surveys Mordak's kitchen in disgust. It is an untidy mishmash of dirty pots, jars with unidentified contents, rags, and assorted junk. Even with all that, Graham can see nothing that interests him. A lovely young girl with long black hair, olive skin, and flashing green eyes laboriously scrubs the cold stone floor. Though wearing rags, her beauty nevertheless shines through.
Don't come near me! Leave me alone!
I would never hurt you. I'd like to help you.
I don't believe you! You're probably one of them!
I'm not. Believe me.
Just go away! Please! I don't want to talk to you anymore!
Since the girl seems so frightened, Graham compassionately decides to leave her alone for now. It is a lovely golden locket on a delicate chain. Upon opening the locket, Graham sees a portrait of an older couple in regal attire. So as not to damage the picture, he quickly closes it again.
Warning: this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
Wherever did you find my gold locket? I thought it was gone for good. I lost it on the island just after I was brought here by Mordak.
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. But tell me, who are you, and how did you come to be here?
My name is Princess Casima, from the Kingdom of the Green Isles. My father, the king, employs a horrible vizier who befriended Mordak. When Mordak saw me, he immediately wished to marry me and bring me here. Naturally, I refused, and my father agreed with me. But our refusal angered him so much that he sold me here anyway and put me to work as a scullery girl. He says he will never let me go, that a scullery girl I will remain until I agree to marry him. But the thought revolts me. What am I to do?
Don't worry, I'm here to save my family from the evil wizard. He's got them here someplace, imprisoned inside a glass bottle. If I can manage to rescue them, then of course I wouldn't forget you either.
I know the glass bottle you're talking about. It's in Mordak's laboratory upstairs.
Keep quiet about my presence. I think this will be the most difficult part of my journey. I may not survive it.
I would never give you away, and I will help you in any way I can, kind sir.
Princess Casima, whom Graham now knows to have been stolen by Mordak from the Kingdom of the Green Isles, looks pleased to see him. She smiles in friendship.
By the way, who are you?
I'm King Graham of Daventry.
I think I know where that is. It's very far from my home, though.
Don't worry, somehow I'll get you home again. But first, I've got to save my family.
Yes, well, I'll stand by you, King Graham. I'll help if I can.
Thanks, I may need it.
Well, I'd better get back to work, and you should keep out of sight.
Aye, aye, m'lady.
While Princess Casima busily scrubs the kitchen floor, Graham tries to figure out what to do next. Water, dripping down strands of slimy vegetation hanging from the ceiling, forms a small pool on the cell's cold stone floor. Above him, Graham can see a damp, rusty grate leading to who knows where. Graham finds himself in a dirty, dingy cell somewhere below Mordak's castle. Graham can see a small, moldy piece of cheese just inside the mouse hole. There, got it. The fishhook did the trick in retrieving the piece of cheese from the mouse hole.
Hello.
What? Oh, Princess Casima, where did you come from?
From the labyrinth. I spend a lot of time down here, you know, with my friends.
Friends?
Yes, like Zink and Sam. I don't know if you ever saw Sam or not. Anyway, I found this loose stone once that led here, to this cell. Now come on, you'd better get out of here.
Princess Cassima busily scrubs the kitchen floor, Graham tries to figure out what to do next. Green mold covers the small piece of cheese. Phew! This smelly old fish is disgusting. The bag is full of round, dried peas. A large beast lies stunned on the floor. Graham wants no part of this beast. The black cat eyes Graham suspiciously. Graham carries a large empty bag once occupied by dried peas. The cat struggles in vain inside the bag.
Meow, wow. Meow, wow.
Graham looks out the spiked windows and views the distorted rocks and twisted forms of Mordak's strange island. A huge monstrosity of a skull-like figure leers at passers-by of an upstairs hallway. This doorway leads into Mordak's bedroom. A large, grotesque bed occupies one corner of Mordak's bedroom. Graham looks out the window and views the distorted rocks and twisted forms of Mordak's strange island. A strange statue of a winged woman stands close to Mordak's bed. Graham surveys the bizarre furnishings and horrible figures in Mordak's bedroom. Many books and scrolls line the shelves of Mordak's library. As Graham looks them over, however, he finds them mostly unintelligible. A large tome lying open upon a corner desk attracts Graham's curiosity. This looks interesting. Graham wonders what the symbols mean. The strange symbols have been burned into Graham's memory, and there is no need to look at them again. Perhaps they'll be of use later. Many books and scrolls line the shelves of Mordak's library. As Graham looks them over, however, he finds them mostly unintelligible. Graham can see into Mordak's bedroom through the open doorway. Many book-filled shelves line the walls of Mordak's extensive library. Through the open doorway, Graham can see the wizard lying asleep in his bed. Mordak lies asleep on his huge, horrendous bed. Mordak's wand lies temptingly upon the small table near his bed. Tears come to Graham's eyes as he sees his beloved family and castle held captive inside a large glass bottle. Hot coals burn in an open pit fireplace built at one end of the laboratory. Graham has found himself in a large room filled with many unusual contraptions and magical implements. His heart feels like bursting when he notices his beloved family imprisoned within a large glass bottle sitting upon a corner table. Looking at his frantically waving family inside their glass prison causes Graham's heart to break as he realizes his current inability to save them from their terrible predicament. Graham has found himself in a large room filled with many unusual contraptions and magical implements. Graham has found him an odd machine of tubes, gears, weights, and tiny figures surrounding an unusual sphere-like object attracts Graham's curiosity. Behind Mordak's strange machine lurk other baffling and curious magical implements. Graham has no idea what Mordak does with this strange contraption, but it couldn't be good. Inside the lower portion, a foul-smelling liquid bubbles, while two dangling spiked gizmos hang on a massive yoke above a couple of flat iron platters. Mordak's wand glows brightly with restrained power. Green mold covers the small piece of cheese. Graham tosses the moldy cheese into the machine's bubbling liquid. Mordak's wand now barely glows. Perhaps its power has weakened while Crichton's old wand now appears completely energized. Atop the iron platter of the bizarre contraption lies
What's going on here? I'll take care of you, you swine.
Graham, I've heard from Crichton.
What the? What have you done to my wand? You think you can outwit me, little man? Ha! Let me show you a thing or two. think you're so smart, don't you? Well, I've got you now.
Say goodbye, swine. So, it's the way you want to play.
Warning, this cartoon contains material that may be necessary for information or clues to complete this game. Please be sure to check your inventory if you decide to skip.
Now why won't you work? Oh, Princess Cosima. Well, I did it. Mordak is dead.
Dead? Are you sure? Maybe he's only trying to trick you.
He's dead, all right. He turned himself into a fire, and I put him out with rainwater. He'll never bother anyone else ever again. But now I have a bigger problem. I don't know what to do about my family or my castle. I don't know how to turn them back to normal.
After all you've been through, there must be a way.
Crispin!
I have the solution to all your problems, Graham. While you and Cedric were gone, I did some asking around, and I found out that your son, Alexander, had the dubious distinction, if you may, of turning Mordak's brother, Manannan, into a cat some time back. Obviously, this deed angered Mordak, who could do nothing about it, since this particular spell could only be undone by the actual perpetrator, your son. It doesn't take a great genius to figure out that Mordak took your family and castle in revenge to try to persuade Alexander to restore Manannan back to his old self. I did discover, as now I see, that your castle and family were miniaturized and imprisoned inside a glass bottle. I did some research and found the spell for turning everything back to normal. Now watch. Hocus pocus, Aliotus.
Valanies! My children! My joy knows no limits!
Oh, Father, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, Princess Cosima, how could I forget you? Come over here. Let me introduce you to my family. This is my wife, Queen Valenice, my daughter, Princess Rosella, and my son, Prince Alexander, who started this whole mess. All of you, this is Princess Cosima from the land of the Green Isles. Without her, none of us would be standing here now. She bravely saved my life.
My lady, I am deeply in your debt, and I will make it up to you. With your permission, I'd like to travel to the land of the Green Isles to see you.
All right, now that we've done with all the formalities, let's get on with business, shall we? Higgledy! Higgledy! Pooh! Be assured that your castle is right back where it belongs, and the right size, too. But now it's time that everyone return to their homes, with my help, of course. Alakazam, Alakazoo, Alakaz...
Wait! What about Cedric?
Where is Cedric?
Over there. Mordak may have killed him. Is there anything you can do about it?
Let me think. Ah, yes. I think I know. Abracabara? No, abracadora? Now what is that confounded word? Oh, yes! Abracadabra!
Oh, Crispin!
Cedric, it sure is good to see you again.
Oh, likewise, I'm sure.
All right, enough is enough. Let's get on with it. Okay, Cosima, let's send you home first. Wasn't that the land of the Green Isles?
Yes, that's right. I can't wait to see my parents again. Goodbye, Alexander. Perhaps we'll meet again.
You can be sure of that, my lady.
Before you send us all home, Crispin, I just want to thank you for all your help. And you too, Cedric. I wouldn't be standing here with my family without you two. I'm deeply, deeply grateful.
All in a day's work, my boy. All in a day's work, right, Cedric?
Right, Crispin.
Okay, back home you go. Alakazam. Alakazoo. Alakazee.
Well, there she is, our happy home, and we're all safe and sound once more. Let's go home, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Do you really want to quit?